We are learning more about what led up to a shooting that killed a Kennesaw State University student yesterday. Both the family and university have identified that student as 21-year-old Alasia Franklin. Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is live from the campus tonight. Bridget, you spoke with those who knew her.
That's right. Those close to Alasia say she was kind, loving, and she cared for other people dearly. Now, police say there was some sort of argument that happened out here the day that she was killed. And they say shots were fired at some point right outside of this housing complex. Terrible scene for a lot of students to see. The Kennesaw State University community, family, and friends are remembering a life cut way too short.
She was just such an important figure within this university. We can't let this go.
Police say 21-year-old Alasia Franklin was shot and killed in front of the Austin residence complex on campus Saturday afternoon. The suspect, a man named Samuel Harris from Cairo, Georgia, whom KSU officials say is not a student.
He just came in on campus and just did something so senseless, man. It's just insane.
The shooting happened right outside Anthony Harrison's window.
I was just laying down, taking a nap, and then out of nowhere I heard like 7 or 8 shots go off. All I could remember is just like walking up and just seeing her body lay there lifeless.
Franklin was heavily involved in activities such as student government and had plans to become a nurse practitioner.
She was very, very determined. Like, her purpose was to speak up for people who are afraid to speak up for themselves.
Samuel Harris sits in the Cobb County Jail and faces charges, including murder.
We need to advocate for her and make sure that she gets the true justice that she deserves, because nobody ever deserves to go out the way that she did.
Now, we have been in touch with family. They are not quite ready to speak. As you can imagine, they are really distraught right now. Now, Kennesaw State University, they say counseling services and resources will certainly be available to all people affected by this terrible tragedy on campus. We're live in Cobb County tonight. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
We know that's a tough loss for parents and for students at KSU. Bridget, thank you.